Man, it's 427. Good Lord, what a news day. I mean, I got a list of things I may have to just wait till tomorrow to get to. 545-9950 if you want to get on the show, y'all bring it. Crocker Moving Services also bringing you everything this afternoon. If y'all got to move big or small, let Eric and his team come and take care of you. They're just the best in the business. My favorite part is how they scale their services. They can scale it down to 2 hours, or they can do a full fledged move. You're moving to California. Who would do that? You're moving to Idaho with your whole house and your whole family. They'll handle it. They'll pack it up and get it moved and handle all the stuff that it stresses us out. And the same thing applies for their other services. And again, the 2 hour minimum, that's just, they can tell you how they calculate that, but that's when you just got a couple of big things or some stuff you can't handle, but it's not a huge full fledged project. That's an economy for you. The way they do it is just to stage out their day, so they come do your job. They do some other smaller jobs like that and build out a full day for their company. That's just great to be able to only use what you need from our friends at Crocker. They're following the leadership of a good man who served in the Marine Corps. Eric always tells you he's only been two things: a Marine and a mover. And those two, in a lot of ways, are similar. You got to get these strong guys to all go in the right direction and get things done. And that's exactly what they do for you at CrockerMovingServices.com. Y'all reach out to them and let them help you too. CrockerMovingServices.com. All right, real, excuse me. That came out of nowhere. Real quick on the weather, the timeline looks like somewhere around maybe 8 or 8:30 for central Birmingham. If you're back to the west of us, some of you may already be seeing it. There's been rounds of storms all day, most of them below severe limits. But we got a band coming through tonight later, and it's more organized. The biggest threat is straight line winds and potential hail. There's an outside tornado threat, but that's mostly down south of Birmingham. So if you're listening to us from about Clanton back to the southwest, that's the area that is of most concern for any kind of development for that. Should blow through here before midnight for most of the audience, but it's going to be a little dicey after 7, 7:30, 8 o'clock for a lot of you. Just playing around it. It's springtime storms, and we're only at a level 2 of 5 on severity, but it'll be kind of loud and intense for a little while. Y'all take care of yourselves. Drive slow. Turn your headlights on. Turn your wipers on. Look out for the other morons that are TikToking on their phones and not paying attention. Bottom of the hour, lead on live back here in just a minute. Y'all stay tuned. It's 4:35, Leland Live. Y'all, Allen and Company's ready for your gift giving. Here comes two occasions where you might want to pop by Allen and Company. Gifts for the graduate. They've got so many beautiful things in there. Now, you may want something custom. We've still got time. It's only the end of April have something customized that could commemorate the graduation year 2026. They can do laser etching on anything, but of course, then they're just other personal gifts, bracelets and necklaces and earrings for that graduate, whatever you want to do. They've got really, really good taste and good ideas for you. And again, because Alan's a master jeweler, that he can design something for you too. Mother's Day's coming up. Maybe you want to give Mama some bling this Mother's Day. She did give birth to you, by the way. Don't forget about that. They're ready for you at Allen and Company. Once you get to know the Thompsons, you'll be like me. You'll just have a very personalized place to get all this kind of stuff done. It's Allen and the whole Thompson family at Allen and Company down in Vestavia on Highway 31. If I had to give y'all Birmingham directions, I would tell you they're near the car wash, Allen and Company. Real quick, I just heard the promo for Richard and Val in the morning, and they were talking about these restaurants closings that are going on with the restaurant company here in town that's up against the wall with some unpaid bills and rent. And apparently, it was so funny. My buddy Mark last night reached out to me to give me an updated story that a meat supplier, is it called Falakis? And I've met these guys and I always mispronounce their last name. Well known, respected guys from around town with these restaurant concepts. And so he sent me this story, and this actually happened to me last night. I was eating my leftovers from the new area that just opened up last fall called Valley Post down at the end of Highway 41 and 280. Big, it's become real popular. They got a big outdoor space. It's a wonderful concept, good balance of restaurants. We talked about it yesterday. There's a diner type place, a wonderful Italian place. Of course, I love Rodney Scott's, and then of course Little Donkey. I mean, Little Donkey one year won like I think it was like Southern Living's best fried chicken. Blew everybody away. It's like, what? A Mexican place has the best fried chicken? I mean, Little Donkey's great, and I've been there a million times. But so they put these four restaurants into this concept, big outdoor screen. Uh, Everybody that lives out that way loves this little spot in the road, and it created a whole new vibe of restaurants. AJ, last night I'm sitting there eating my leftovers.
Hmm.
I think we hit which one was it? It was donkey. I was eating my donkey leftovers from Sunday from a fajita I had left over, and they closed the place while I was sitting there eating. Closed it. I mean, like you can't have anything.
No, and I
Damn.
actually wanted to go out there and go and check some of those
I
places
remember
out.
yesterday I was like, y'all, you and the wife need and to bring the
Yeah.
kid and let him run around. We took my grandkids out there when they came last time. They just ran crazy. It was just so nice to have that facility. Now the hope is that this is a business dispute. Something's going to shake out in the wash. Probably be a sort of a white knight investor kind of come in and be able to handle the debt and get everything going because the concepts are great. The crowds have been there. I don't know what their revenues are. And similar to radio, of course, I made a joke about our industry too. But sometimes you have stations that are part of a big giant radio group that are sucking the company dry, and profitable stations like ours that are providing the revenue. But everybody gets hurt during cuts, and we've come to accept that in our business. Um, when they have a force reduction, they just apply it universally, which is not fair, or I don't even think it's smart. But nonetheless, our industry gets used to that, and that's in my to compare it. I think that's kind of what we're seeing with the restaurants. Some of these profitable restaurants are having to be put on pause while they get the whole business organization's books into balance because apparently rent is owed and they owe some money for the meats. So I was just AJ. I had a mouthful of fajita from the donkey. I was
Yes.
in there. A friend of ours said, "Hey, they just locked the doors and told all the employees, and they just shut this whole place down.
I mean,
They went over to eat."
and the crazy part is that place just opened not too long ago.
I know.
It's a very new, and you're starting to see a lot of those type of venues kind of open up. There's one just around the corner called the Edge, where
Yeah.
it's kind of like a communal style restaurants, and then people kind of sit in this open space area.
Yeah.
And I mean, it's a fun concept because you can have something to eat. The kids can run out and play. They got something like that over at Leeds. It I hate that it happened, because you think about, especially in that area where you're at, kind of like over the mountain, there's really nothing like that. I mean, that place is starting to develop. I just came from over there, and I was like, there's a lot of different spots
And
over here.
the thing is, the kind of the area out where I live, you don't want a bunch of development. I mean,
Right.
I was mad as hell when they put a red light on the road. I was like, we don't need a traffic light. I don't want all that mess. Next thing you know, we're going to have graffiti. And sure enough,
All
somebody
the
painted
riffraff
some
is coming
graffiti.
this way.
Like, they're coming over the hill. We're going to have to move again, honey. Load up the chuck wagon. We're heading west. I mean, like, I just keep moving away from all the craziness in the world. But no, it's totally peaceful out that way. But this was, everybody out there loved it.
Yeah.
There was a venue there before that called Treetop something, and it was like a kids arcade games. One of my sons worked there for a while. He learned some valuable lessons about hard work, having to put up with other people's kids misbehaving and wanting to smack them, but you couldn't. You're an employee. You just have to go find the parents. And it's like, this little hellion of yours is wrecking everybody on the go-karts.
Yeah, I think that's probably the reason why I got fired from Paraopa County Fair in San Antonio.
Oh, really? Let's hear that story.
Yeah. Now, well, not only did I had a timber back in those days. And not only did I had cussed out the guy who fired me, but yeah, I threw some turkey legs at
Hold on, wait a minute. We've known each other we've had this show for almost 17 years.
Yeah.
And I've never heard this one.
Yeah.
We've heard each other's stories over and over.
Yeah.
You're working at a fair.
I think it's past statute of limitation. Plus, the place
sure
is no
it is.
longer around. I think it turned to a church later.
But you're working at a fair and you decided to throw chicken legs at somebody?
No, turkey legs.
Turkey legs.
Yeah.
Oh, those are bigger.
Yeah.
And
I mean,
what do you do to
don't-
deserve the turkey toss?
I mean, don't get mad at me because I ain't trying
I
to
ain't
give you
mad.
some free food, but
I got your back on it, man.
man, like kids. And I was a kid myself, and I'm like, I'm over here like just trying to make a living. I was making $4.50. I was living a life. My
call
check
'em,
was $80 every 2 weeks.
I call them OPKs, other people's kids. They ain't as precious as y'all think they are at home.
No.
By the way, we can hear them, even though you can't hear your own kids anymore. Just letting you know, we can hear your damn kid.
Yeah.
Take them on out of the service. Okay, and then this was Trussville Tribune just put this out. I didn't even know Trussville had a Rodney Scott's. They just shut down Rodney Scott's in Trussville. Y'all, I really think this is temporary. All right, let me explain.
No, wait, is the one in Homewood still open?
Yeah, I passed it today. When I was coming into work, there was a big flood down there where sort of the end of 280 comes into 31, and they had put out some cones, and they were really kind of diverting you around. So I found a little shortcut and went around right by the Rodney Scott's and the Little Donkey, and I could smell it. I almost wanted to wheel in there, but I was late, so I kept going. And so they were still open in Homewood, in that new era developed end of the downtown stretch of Homewood. At least those two restaurants, and they're all tied to the same group of people. That's when I met these owners that own this restaurant group. I actually met them there through a mutual friend at a meeting. We do a lot of station meetings down there. It's close by. It's a good place to eat. But yeah, I hate that. I hate that for Rodney Scott. Now, here's the thing. They've taken this legendary barbecue guy out of South Carolina and scaled his business model and reproduced it and franchised it out and got it going. And his name's on it. It's not, Old Mammy Slap Out Barbecue. No, it's Rodney Scott. That's the man's name. That's his Scott family name. And I just hope, again, they're going to need an investment restructure. Sometimes this is a buying opportunity. If you get some books out of balance, there are people that recognize the value and have the capital to straighten things out. Business does that all the time. But I just hope they can. There's just so much investment. My experience in it is not from the restaurant side. I wouldn't begin to know how to run a restaurant. I would go bankrupt 2 days later. But from the retail development side, I worked in that industry for a period of my life, and understanding how the balance sheet's supposed to work, the performance of the building itself, how it's supposed to produce, the investment that goes in the infrastructure. It's pretty complex stuff. And the thing is, we were talking about this morning business-wise, real estate developers don't want to run a restaurant. And restaurant guys sometimes don't want to be in the real estate business. They'd rather lease, and they work together, and the two entities know what they each other do, and it can work when it works. But since COVID, the restaurant industry has been a challenge. That's why I'm so proud of our man Will for how he's been able to bob and weave and survive. And Will come in here. Y'all could talk about it tonight. Maybe he's got some thoughts on this business end of the story. Will's he's tested some concepts and changed and redirected and built a new facility. I've watched him go through all this stuff. He started with a food truck when we first met him, and this guy has got a well-established name now, and he works so hard, and he's got the best food in the world. But I'm proud of people that can make it right now because you're balancing employee needs. You're fighting a work ethic. You had to go through Biden's inflationary period, the COVID nonsense being shut down. It's a challenged industry. And then you're being challenged now by, even, and I guess sometimes it adds to business, but people not dining out as much. When the economy's bad, the first thing that tends to go, I don't even know how I got on this long dirt road because I meant to get into oil production, but the first thing tends to be the white tablecloth type restaurants, the super high-end fancy places. People will still casually dine. But I'm going to be real with you. You almost can't go to lunch nowadays for two people. You almost can't do it for under $40. I mean, even Chick-fil-A is $30-something now when you run through the drive-thru. What I used to always get at Chick-fil-A, AJ, is now $12, $13. Used to be $5.
Yeah.
I remember when it was $5. So everything is up, and people are having to economize, so they're just doing less of it. But even the grocery store is crazy. Come on, Trump. We need some of that magic, man. We get the food crisis. Jonathan is on a cell phone. Let's start on the phones. Jonathan, what's up, buddy?
Hey, how you doing, Mr. Leland?
I'm well.
Hey, I talked to you a few weeks back, and I mentioned that my brother had been murdered, and you asked me about a police report. And it kind of blew me away. Kind of felt dumb about it because here we are. We're 3.5 years in and have no answers. So I called them up, and no, I can't have a police report. They won't give me one.
Which agency is this?
I won't say the county, but it's down here. I live in Montevallo. It's not Shelby County. It's an adjacent county. My brother was murdered down here. We just can't get no answers.
Police reports, incident reports, the cover report on an incident is public information, not the prosecutor file, but the cover report.
Anything.
No, it's public information. You have a right to it.
How do we get it?
Part of my job
I'm at a loss, man.
Well, every agency.
We're going to meet with them this week, and we're going to ask. I gave them a list last week of 20 questions.
Yeah.
We're just looking to get some answers. Hey, has the law ever been called to the house before? You know what I'm saying? She shot him and killed him. We just want to know why.
Well,
we've given up on them prosecuting her. It's like, come on. They promised us the first year they were going to take before the grand jury, but they never have.
Well, here's what you have to do. You got to go to the police agency that responded to the incident and recorded.
The county.
Right.
The county.
So then you go to the sheriff's department and tell them you want.
Right.
Sometimes you have to pay $1. It used to be $1 a page. They might charge you for the copy. But all that stuff's public record.
They say that's not available.
No, it's available.
Is it really?
It's available. Yeah.
Somebody's trying to pull the wool on.
I think it's Alabama law that's basically. Look, as a reporter, I did this for a living for years of my life. Every Saturday, every morning, go by all the police departments and pull the reports and look. It's where a lot of stories come from. It's what Carol Robinson gets this stuff for a living over at AL.com.
They told us one thing in the 3.5 years we've been waiting for this to happen is that she shot him from 20 feet away. And they've never taken her to court, never questioned it. She's always walked free. She's a doctor. She's a millionaire.
I don't know. I can't get into the aspects of the case. All I got is your word for it, and I'd have to hear both sides to be able to air this out on the radio.
Yes, sir.
So good luck on getting the report, and just be aggressive about it.
We're going to try. We're going to meet with them, and if we don't get any answers this week,
you got to listen to them now and follow their instructions and go through the process.
We're going to listen. We're going to record it. We're going to do everything we can.
Don't do anything stupid. All right, Jonathan. Appreciate it, buddy. All right, man.
Bye-bye.
All right. Update on the saga of it. It's frustrating when you're on the victim side of things, especially nowadays. It seems as if our whole justice system is tilted in some places toward the murderers, toward the killers, toward the accused. The system's supposed to protect the victims as well. We'll get into more of that here in just a little bit. I got to get to this break. Michelson Laser Vision next up here on the show. Dr. Mark, Dr. Jennifer, y'all, I see 2015 now. I can look out this window and see for miles. And it used to be, even with my contacts and glasses, there was always something. They were a little smudged, got a fingerprint right in the middle of them. You're like, am I going blind? No, it's just your big old smudgy, greasy fingerprint because you touched your glasses or it rained. Days like today are just hell when you're wearing glasses. You got to run to the car and jump in the car and wipe off your glasses and turn on the windshield wipers and then wipe off your glasses again because they fog over. You don't deal with that after you've had LASIK. That's out of your life. It's over. It's the little things that I didn't even realize I would appreciate. It's been 7 years since I did it. Here's the deal. You might not even be eligible. I'm just trying to warn you, but I would go get checked to see that first. That's the first step. Are you medically eligible for this kind of procedure? And then if you are, consider yourself lucky, educate yourself, then make your decision. They'll talk to you about pricing. They'll talk to you about options. And they'll tell you through they got a whole education on the risk and benefits so you can make an informed decision. All I know is you're working with the best in the business, the cutting edge pioneering practice here in the state of Alabama that have been helping people see better since the late 80s with the latest technology and the sweetest people in the world down at UAB Highlands. Dr. Mark Michelson, Dr. Jennifer Michelson, and the whole team, michelsonlaservision.com, downtown UAB Highlands. Back in a minute. Y'all, Lonnie, his furniture company's got a nice little sale going to commemorate their 92nd anniversary as a business. Good Lord. That's a long time. You got to be doing things right and have a reputation. That Lonnie's name just is synonymous with furniture. I think John's the fifth generation to be in the business. And he partnered up with Reggie, who's not in the Lonnie's family, but they might as well be. Those two have been in other businesses together. But they built a superstore a couple of years ago, and it's worth a visit. $92 off every $1,000 that you spend for the duration of the sale. Nice little benefit when you already need some stuff. It's already look. Their prices are fair all the time. They don't even have to run crazy sales and specials because once you see the quality and see the styling and fall in love with it, and then you look at the price tag, you go, "That's fair. That's a good price." I've done that with everything. I've never been shocked by the price of anything in the store. They just know what they're doing. They buy right at the markets from the best manufacturers, bring it back here to Alabama and beautifully stage it in this little small town called Kimberly right off I-65. It's Lania'sFurnitureCompany.com, Lania'sFurnitureCompany.com. Now, the irony did not escape me that today earlier in the show, we had a live event at the Congress. King Charles has been in town all day, and they've been doing one live event after another, motorcades, all the pomp and circumstance. So Congress was clapping so loud. Nowadays, we're not used to seeing Democrats and Republicans on their feet clapping for the same thing, but they were clapping so loud. There's a noise limiter on the feed we had, and it kept cutting out because it would spike the noise. They were cheering for the king. He was standing there in the well, and suddenly it hit me. Half of these people, aren't they the ones that were just going to No Kings rallies all over the country? They're like, no kings. Then an actual king shows up, and they're like, who's the daddy? Who's our daddy? Hey, Charles. Clapping like seals, man. Hypocrites. The whole town's full of hypocrites. Maria's got a traffic update. Maria's more on it than our traffic people. What's up, Maria?
Hi. That's funny. The No Kings thing. That's
yeah.
funny.
There they were.
280 inbound this time, not outbound. Right lane blocked. I saw two cars. The ASAP, a Birmingham, just spun himself around to go sit behind it right by the Target light where that pink package store is.
Yeah.
Yeah. Right lane blocked.
Right lane blocked. That'd be inbound, westbound, right there at the pink package.
And the Arby's. Yep.
Been in that little area a bunch of times. Y'all be careful with that. There's a lot of construction on 280 right now. Thank you, Maria. She just dropped the mic on us. There was a bad flooding over in Homewood. 280 sort of veers over to Red Mountain Expressway. But there's that little section that cuts on over into Homewood, and it's like if you stay straight, you tee into Homewood. And that little area right there was completely flooded. Cars were flooding out. So awkwardly, they just put up a bunch of cones in like the worst spot. I mean, you would come up on them before you had a way to turn around, but people were figuring it out today. Right now, it's probably had time to drain, but we've got another huge round of storms coming through. And if you know of chronic spots like that tonight, after all this rain we've had since early in the morning, probably going to get some localized flooding as it moves through. Straight line winds are the biggest threat. Hail is a possibility. And south of Birmingham, there's the slight outside chance of tornadoes. Just a little quick update on our weather system tonight. We still got a couple of hours of lack of activity if y'all got any running around to do. All right, back here in a minute for the last hour. Y'all hang on. Leland Live, Talk 99.5.